प्रवक्ष्यामि आद्यास्तोत्रं महाफलं यः पठेत् सततं भक्त्या स एव विष्णुवल्लभः मृत्युव्याधिभयं तस्य नास्ति किञ्चित् खलु युगे अपुत्र लभते पुत्रं त्रिपक्षं श्रवणं यदि दौमाशौ बन्धनमुक्तिविप्रवक्रत् श्रुतं यदि मृतवत्स्या जीववत्स्या षण्मासं श्रवणं यदि नौकायां संकटे युद्धे पठनजयमप्नुयात् लिखित्वा स्थापयेत् गेहे नाग्निचौरभयं किञ्चित् राजस्थाने जय नित्यं प्रसन्नं सर्वदेवता ॐ ह्रीं ब्रह्माणि ब्रह्मलोके च वैकुण्ठे सर्वमङ्गला इन्द्राणि अमरावत्याम्बिका वरुणालये यमालये कालरूपा कुबेरभवने शुभा महानन्दाग्निकोणे च वायव्य मृगवाहिनी नैऋत्यं रक्तदन्ता च ईशानं शूलधारिणी पाताले वैष्णवी रूपा सिंहले देवमोहिनी सुरसा च मणिद्वीपे लङ्कायां भद्रकालिका रामेश्वरी सेतुबन्धे विमला पुरुषोत्तमे वीरजा औद्रदेशे कामाक्षा नीलपर्वते कालिका वंगदेशे च अयोध्यायां महेश्वरी वाराणस्याम् अन्नपूर्णा गयाक्षेत्रे गयेश्वरी कुरुक्षेत्रे भद्रकाली व्रजे कात्यायनी परा द्वारकायां महामाया मथुरायां महेश्वरी क्षुधातं सर्वभूतानां वेलासागरस्य च नवमी शुक्लपक्षस्य कृष्णा एकादशी परा दक्षस्य दुहिता देवी दक्षयज्ञविनाशिनी रामस्य जनकी त्वं हि रावणध्वंसकारिणी चण्डमुण्डवधे देवी रक्तबीजविनाशिनी निशुम्भशुम्भमोथिनी मधुकैटभघातिनी विष्णुभक्तिप्रदा दुर्गा सुखदा मोक्षदा सदा आद्यास्त्वम् इमं पूर्णं यः पठेत् सततं नर सर्वजराभयं न स्यात् सर्वव्याधिविनाशनं कोटितीर्थफलं तस्य लभते नत्र संशय जया मे जाग्रत पातु विजया पातु पृष्ठत नारायणी शीर्षदेशे सर्वांगे सिंहवाहिनी शिवदूती उग्रचण्डा प्रत्यङ्गे परमेश्वरी विशालाक्षी महामाया कौमारी शङ्खिनी शिवा चक्रिणी जयधात्री चरणमुण्डेरनप्रिया दुर्गा जयन्ती काली च भद्रकाली महोदरी नरसिंही च वराही सिद्धिदात्री सुखप्रदा भयंकरी महारौद्री महाभयविनाशिनी इति ब्रह्मयामले ब्रह्मनारदे संवादे आद्यास्तोत्रं समाप्तम्. Thus ends the prayer to Adya, which occurs in the discussion between Brahma and Narada found in Brahmayamala. Adya Stotram is the prayer to the primeval power. Shaktiyas believe that there was a primeval power which is pervading in all of earth, and they believe that Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva got their power of creation and destruction from this supreme Nari Shakti, this supreme woman power. I call her, and we all, I know, call her the supernova, Devi Durga. Chandi, she has 108 names, and here is my humble homage to her in the form of chanting this holy Adya Stotram. Today happens to be the auspicious Mahapanchami day, of Durga Puja in Kolkata, West Bengal, and as Bengalis dispersed all over the globe, we remember the homecoming of Goddess Durga with her entire clan of children and her family, and we being her extended family, part of her extended family and her clan, we cherish the remembrances that we have of the Durga Puja, and also we try to recreate a new kind of universe, a new Kolkata, far away from our Bengali homeland. So in this auspicious occasion, I would like to share with you a short story of mine, which is titled Durga the Third Eye, and in it I speak about a beggar woman and her child who was named Durga. And I also subtly speak about social inequalities, which is very much part of our social fabric from times immemorial. I hope you will like the short excerpt which I would be sharing from my story, Durga the Third Eye, which is part of my book, All That Jazz and Other Path-Breaking Tales. So I'll be reading a short excerpt from it. Shefali was looking right, left, center, her distraught eyes scanning the zigzag contours of the silhouetted pandemonium of the festival. The lights flashed, brutal, blinding in the mad city maze. She kept walking, forlorn, aimless, amid the maddening crowd that eclipsed the grandeur of the puja pandals on both sides of the city streets. The familiar scent of the carnival breezing through her nose, choking her with remembrances. She kept walking, as if in a silken trance, shuttling from one end of the crowd to the other, the lights glorifying the montage of the Durga idols shamelessly glaring on her wayward, uncombed hair, the crushed crevices of her torn-down sari. The lights that kept guiding the frenzied cloud around disperse in monstrous formations as the policemen run around to control the scattered mob. This year, the tears spilled over like a truant child in a desperate urge to parachute down irreverently, longing to land upon the bountiful, victorious crimson feet of the Durgama. The holy chants of the priests invoking her echoed, resounded from amid the barricades of the pandal premises. Those lights, which played in the lashes of her 6-year-old child Durga during the last puja, the lights that swept her away with magic and enchantment of an undiscovered carnival. Shefali's sighs exploded as her feet staggered in aimless directions. Somewhere in the deep chasms of the heart, she knew her little Durga was doing perfectly well in her new abode. "Ma, why don't we go inside the pandal and give Anjali to Durga Ma?" she asked, as they both squatted on the street corners with their tattered clothes, their unfed mouths nibbling on the leftovers of the puja prasad thrown away on one end of the road nonchalantly. As the exhausted little Durga slept on her mother's lap in the afternoon, she listened faintly to the succession of announcements from inside the puja pandal, massaging the burning forehead of her child, caressing with her hands her half-fed tiny belly. She ran her fingers over the tangled brown hair of the child, while the both fell under the sweet, untainted spell of sleep. The stained, worthless mother and the forsaken, illegitimate girl child. At the twilight hour, The little body exploded in fever. Shefali held her in a soft cuddle, a gentle hug, both basking in the light of a perfect, reassuring rhythm of love. She lifted the little girl's face, held tightly in her arms, and held her close to her bosom, the little curls of her unkempt hair brushing past her shoulders. She pointed her fingers in the little space between both her long, thick eyebrows as the air outside, moist, furtive, reverberated with the sound of drums. With her fingers, she drew a third eye on the little girl's forehead. You are the Durga I have with me. Ma Durga will save you for me, she said, as the dust and soot of the crowded street swirled around them like whirls of smoke. A glimmering streak of hope and the autumnal sunshine flung over their bodies as the listless tufts of clouds waved at them. In the evening, the heat inside the little body diminished. I feel so hungry, Ma. Can you buy for me one of those hot jalebis that man is serving to people on the other side of the road? Shefali's fist held a 2-rupee note that she managed from her day's earnings as she crossed the street to reach the tempting stalls where the vendors sold cotton candy, sweetmeats, fried crisp puris with chutney. Little Durga's eyes fluttered as her tiny hands held her mother's. For some time in the streets, she had looked into the eyes of the street vendors, strangers with mistrust in their eyes. Their dark, silent, brooding eyes rarely spoke, or even if they did, hurled abuses at them, at the other beggars, rag pickers, spitting at them, cussing them for their cursed birth. But for these 4 days, Ma Durga had come home to all of them, and they could have a sacred resting place beneath the glorious garb of festivities. So this was a short excerpt from my story, Durga the Third Eye, which was first published in the anthology Silhouette 1 and 2, which was a brilliant collection of fiction written by wonderful writers and poets and short story writers of the Significant League. Later, I republished the short story in my own short story collection with a romance novella, and its name is All That Jazz and Other Path-Breaking Tales. I repeat, All That Jazz and Other Path-Breaking Tales. And the name of this short story from which I read the excerpt is Durga the Third Eye. I hope you all have enjoyed listening to it and would read the story from my book. It is soon coming out in paperback. It is there already in Amazon Kindle. Those of you who haven't read it might want to have a look. With this, I'm ending the session here and wishing you all a very happy, fulfilling Durga Puja from your own personal spaces, since this year we all know that we are celebrating Durga Puja with a difference, and we are also hoping that the goddess will shine her light bright in all our lives, and all evil, all maladies from our lives will eradicate in the next year. Thank you very much. Namaste to everybody. Thank you very much for listening.